Alrighty, then let's go ahead and get this this fucking clusterfuck rolling, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Who's
As a
doing
reminder, I do have detect magic on active when I walk into the house.
Who wants to do quick recap?
So we showed up to we woke up in the woods. We found that our cart was gone, replaced by a bunch of weird trees that appeared to be old and burned. Maybe I can't remember that part, but they were weird and kind of scraggly looking.
Ashy.
They were ashy.
They
There
were
you go,
like
ashy.
petrified. Yeah,
That's it.
yeah.
Okay. We talked for a little while. There was some weird foggy stuff that took away our ability to hear. We agreed to get up and move to try to find the cart that we were escorting. Jynx sensed blood off the trail somewhere. We followed that, found a pool of blood, followed that up to a dead body where we found a man who was carrying a letter with a silvered sword and a amulet with a sun and an eye, I think. I'm not working off my notes, I'm going off memory, but I think it was a sun with an eye in the middle of it. Went back to the trail, kept walking, found Barovia, went in through the gates. Connor's character, Torin? You're Torin, right?
Yep.
Torin saw a face in the fog as the gates closed. Came inside, saw the house on the right with the two kids outside. We talked to the kids for a while. Gravin gave them a silvered sword to see if the silver bothered them. It did not. The kids seemed pretty worked up, but we seemed to have calmed them down. We all decided to go in the house. The kids vehemently did not want to enter the house. They were very adamant about that. I left Skitter and a spider familiar outside with them. We kind of went in and went around the bottom floor, saw some stuff on the walls, didn't really find anything other than some weapons in a chest that was locked, or like a cabinet kind of a deal.
Yep.
Found a dumbwaiter that had a opening underneath that appeared to lead to a basement of some kind, but that was the only route to the basement we could see, and it was too small for anybody to fit. From there, we went upstairs. Detect Magic is up with Xavath, and the fog has moved into the building. I think that's where
not necessarily into the building, but the
not
fog
in the
is
building.
yes,
It's
yeah,
up
it is.
to-
Yeah, yes,
up to
it
the
is
building.
completely engulfed the outer perimeter of the Durst Manor itself. Excuse me, hold up.
I think that's where we're at.
Yep. Yeah. Nothing else that you really missed that was too important. The kids' names are Rose and Thorn, and they explained that they have always lived here at the Durst Manor, and that their mother and father have been known to hold parties of sorts through the years, and that they've never seen this so-called monster, but they've heard it many a times during these parties.
We saw the painting in the dining room, I think, right? We saw the dad, who was the dead guy we found in the woods. But in the woods, he was a lot older than he was in the painting.
Correct.
The kids were the same age in the painting.
Yes.
It was exact same clothes as well, isn't it? And
Yes.
everything.
I
Literally.
think so, yeah.
Yep. And you all are looking for their baby brother. Apparently, it is not necessarily a newborn. Yes, not necessarily a newborn per se, but recently born by a certain room that you all had seen, where there had seemed to be the remnants of afterbirth, blood-stained sheets, whatnot, with a lady in there. She appeared to be holding a child of sorts. And that is where we are. Yes, you all are correct. You all searched downstairs. Not really taking too much. This house does look lived in, but not recently kept per se. I mean, there's definitely dust and grime that has started to accumulate on top of some of the bookshelves, the dish cabinets and whatnot. But yeah, where we ended session was you all had came up to the second floor. And with that, that's where we will get started. So as you all come up into the main upper hallway, the same unlit oil lamps that have kind of been in every room are on every wall. Let's see, hanging above the mantle, right in front of DJ's character. I'm sorry, Jynx. I gotta remember your all's names for this campaign.
Good, man.
Right in front of Jynx, there is another portrait, a wood frame portrait of what you all have come to know as the Durst family. There's a bronze placard underneath of it that literally says the Durst family, Gustav and Elizabeth Durst, and then Rose and Thorn. Cradled in the father's arms is a swaddled baby. And as Jinx, you look at this picture, Elizabeth seems to have a hint of scorn or disdain on her face. There's 4 suits of standing suits of armor. Each is grasping a spear, and they all have their helmets are shaped like wolves. The doors up here are wooden, and they're very elegant. As you look at the doors, you can tell that they're carved with dancing youth that seem to be dancing with birds of some sort.
Dancing with wolves.
Yeah, essentially. Jinx, what's your passive perception?
12.
Cool. As anybody with a 12 or higher would see it anyways. If you guys take a closer look at these engravings on the doors, what you thought were children dancing and playing actually turns out to be carvings of children fighting off and running from swarms of bats.
You told us that last session.
I might have. Other than that, the floor is yours. The red marble staircase does go up one more floor. There's no smells, sounds, just the creaking of the environment like you would expect right now.
Anything? I'm going to ask a question for Xavath, I guess, because I know there was a point.
Ask anyway.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, with detect magic up, do I see anything in this hallway? Yeah, the doors lighting up. Nothing.
Nothing in this hallway is magical right now.
Let me just go in a circle.
We need to pick a door, I think, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
I was gonna open the door in front of me anyway.
I would say eeny, meeny, miny, moe, south.
I'm already here, so
Do it.
door's open.
Okay.
Before I step fully in, I kind of like check the door frame, just make sure I'm not gonna trip anything. I guess
Nothing.
traps.
You can go on in.
Here. Yeah.
You walk into what appears to be a conservatory. Gossamer drapes cover the windows of this elegantly appointed hall. Brass-plated chandeliers hang from the ceilings. Upholstered chairs line the walls, and stained glass wall hangings depict beautiful men, women, and children singing and playing instruments. There's a harpsichord with a bench rest in the corner. And then near the fireplace, there's a standing harp. Alabaster figurines of well-dressed dancers adorn the mantelpiece. As you get closer to these statues, what you thought were men and women dancing actually turn out to be carvings of skeletons dancing.
Okay. This is like a window or a fireplace?
Fireplace.
That's a fireplace, yeah.
Okay. Because I see this symbol when I was looking out in the hallway as well, and I thought that'd be a fireplace as well, or is that supposed to be a window?
Where?
Outside where the armory was.
That's a fireplace. Every room pretty much has a fireplace in here.
Okay.
There's also 3 windows on what we're going to call the south wall. Right? 'Cause remember last time we figured out that the whole map should be 90 degrees clockwise. But, so the one right there, I think X, is that you moving around?
No.
Who's moving? Who is that?
That was me.
Connor.
Oh, Connor. Connor right there, that window's open. The other two are closed. You can't really see anything out the window with that fog
Hang on.
kind of masked the entire thing.
The middle
Doors.
window's open. Okay, there you go. I was going to click open. I didn't want to make sure it was the right window.
Window. There's nothing out there.
Except suicide.
Right.
Anything weird about that piano?
No, everything in here seems to be pretty standard. Everything's clean. Everything in this room is pristine.
Go to the next one, I guess.
Which one?
This
That
one
one?
ahead of me. Yeah.
FBI, open up.
Yeah. I'm going to assume you check doors for everything. We don't need to do that every
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
If there's
For
something I
time's
need you
sake.
to roll for, I'll get you to do it.
Okay.
You all open the door into what appears to be a library. Red velvet drapes cover the windows of this room. An exquisite mahogany desk and matching high back chair face the entrance, and the fireplace above which hangs a framed picture of a windmill perched atop a rocky crag. Situated in the corners of the room are two overstuffed chairs, floor-to-ceiling bookshelves line this, what it says is the south wall, but for us, the east wall. And a long wooden ladder allows one or more easily reach higher shelves.
Okay.
There are several. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, just like the other room, is there anything shining to me, letting me know what's going on?
So there's nothing magical in this room.
Oh.
There are, however, on the desk, there are several items resting atop it. There is an oil lamp, a jar of ink, a quill pen, a tinderbox, and a letter kit. If anybody has any interest in any of
Take it.
that.
Just remember we're in somebody's house.
Say we're in someone's house. Do not fucking start robbing them.
Like, we're looking for a child.
Graven.
Right. The letter kit is open, the ornate box. There's a red candle, a couple of pieces of parchment, and a wooden stamp that has the letter D, as if it's, the standard letter stamp.
Can I just add, contextually, not stealing shit but being here for a child is not any better.
That's fair. Phrasing matters. I agree. Yeah, I get that.
All right. As you all move to that room, you all open the door into what appears to be a servant's quarter. It's an undecorated bedroom, quite small, with two beds with straw-stuffed mattresses. At the foot of each bed is an empty floor locker. Lids are both open. And that's obviously a closet. Within the closet, there's just uniforms hanging up. This little one that has been open as well, that is a dumbwaiter. You all would be able to put that
It was
together pretty
downstairs,
easily, right?
right.
Yeah, because you all are right above the kitchen as we speak.
Okay.
Next floor?
Yeah. With nothing, we're looking for something very specific. Without it popping out, I think we would all be like, okay, well, nothing's catching my eye. Where's this kid at? This is not the floor where.
Yeah, we're not here to rob. We're here for the
I
kid.
gotta backcon for you real quick.
Okay.
Something does stick out to you in the library.
The library.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then I'll just put my character back here. And where would it be?
Here in this back corner where the books are.
Okay.
You notice that up on the shelf, there is one book in particular that seems to be glowing with a magical hue. And give me a second so I can get the School of Magic for you.
You see a glowing dildo.
We have to focus. Okay. We got short time frame.
Yeah, Artie's looking it up. So we
Stay
had
our
time.
target.
It is from the school of abjuration.
Abjuration. Okay. I would walk up to the book without touching it, look at the spine of the book to see if I can see what's written on it as a descriptor.
The title.
I'm sorry, say that again. Say it one more
I
time.
would look at the spine of the book
Yep.
to see what was written to say, what this book is. If I can get a
Gotcha.
clue from that.
Yeah. As you go up the book is labeled The Priest of Osibis.
How do you spell the name?
It is OSY Osibus. OSYBUS. Osibus.
Book of Osiris.
I knew you were going to do that.
And as you're close enough now to look at this book, you notice that it sticks out just slightly further than the rest of the books on that shelf.
I need to
Would I
go touch it.
know with abjuration? Would I know what could potentially be used for that?
I would like to help him try to figure that out since I'm proficient in Arcana.
Okay. Give me an
That's
Arcana
okay.
check.
I'd rather let you roll twice for advantage if that's available.
I mean, you and I can have a discussion about it if Artie will allow that. I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. So I would, knowing Jynx and everything that we've done, I would have had the conversation of like, hey, this book is sus. Like the best way I can explain that, and I was like, I don't want to touch it. What do you think this is? Like, I got abjuration, like from Detect Magic.
What was the name on the book again? Book of what?
Priest of Osibis. OSYBUS.
Yeah, I got it. That's a dirty 20 on the Arcana check.
Okay. Hold on. You would understand that abjuration usually it can involve a spectrum of things, usually used for utility. There are things like arcane locks. There are things like alarm spells. You've probably seen something like this used as like a secret handle or something of that nature as well.
That's what I thought.
Without explaining any of that to him, I reach up and grab the book.
Okay. You go to grab the book. You notice that the book is on a hinge almost, and the top comes down at about a 45. And as that happens, you start to see an outlay in the bookshelf that is actually a hidden door that starts to push in. What you are met with is a small, very small, hidden room. Within this secret room, there's more bookshelves packed with tomes at a quick glance describing fiend summoning rituals and necromantic rituals of this exact cult. You see a lot of these books have the priest of Osibis. There is a heavy wooden chest with claw iron feet that stands against the south wall, which is actually going to be the east wall. Let's see. Its lid is half closed. Sticking out of the chest is a skeleton in leather armor. As you all look at it, the skeleton does appear to be some sort of human that probably triggered a poison dart trap. You can see a little mechanism inside the chest lid that's already went off. And there's a dart laying on the ground outside next to the skeleton.
But he's like stuffed in the chest halfway.
So he's not stuffed in it. It's like he went to open it, and as he went to put his hand in, there was a trap that went off, and when he
And
fell,
he fell in, yeah.
yeah, so like his arm is like sticking in the chest, and his body's laying out like
I just
this,
wanted to
right?
make sure it wasn't stuffed. That's why I asked that specifically.
Yep.
Like,
Um,
it's like fuck this guy.
Peeking through the half-open lid, can we see what's inside?
Yeah, give me 1 second. Yeah, so within there you see 3 different scrolls of paper of some sort, 3 black leather-bound books, a few other scattered papers, and it appears to be a picture of the 2 kids is also in there. You also notice as you kind of get a little bit closer to kind of peek in, you notice that in the opposite hand, I guess if his right hand stuck in the chest, his left hand has a piece of paper like curled up and tucked in like he was holding it.
I'll walk up to the chest, and the first thing I do is take the dart that I have and throw it into the lid of the chest to make sure nothing happens. Assuming it doesn't.
Nothing happens.
Okay. I'll pull the skeleton out, open the lid the rest of the way, and start handing everything back to Xavath, including the note that's in the hand. And then Jynx gets completely fixated on the mechanism that triggered the trap.
Okay.
While Xavath has everything that was in the chest.
Okay. What are you trying to learn from said trap?
Jynx is just being a robot that's a
I got you.
artificer. That's
Literally
all.
just-
Nothing
okay.
really here.
Okay.
I mean, if there's something there to learn, I'll roll whatever you want me to roll. But if there's not, he's just being Jynx. That's all.
All right. If he's just studying the mechanical concept of how this thing functions, it's a standard blow dart trap, right?
Yeah.
It's nothing special.
Yeah, no, I figured. I'm putting that in for flavor. That's all.
Okay, yeah, I got you. All right, so Xavath, you have all the stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would hand the scrolls, I think, to Torin just to take a look at them, and kind of like flip through the black books. If there's anything I can glean from it, scan
Okay.
through it.
So the black books are all completely blank. Looking at them though, they seem like journals that just haven't been used. There's no magical aura coming from. There's no protection spell or anything like illusionary going on. They match, like as you're looking at them, they match the same black spine books that are all over the walls, as if these would be used for documenting new rituals or studies and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So there's up there. As you look at them, though, they're pretty nice quality-wise. They're each worth about 25 gold apiece. So I don't know how y'all want to do currency this time around. I'll do it the way we always do, with like items like this that are really just for fodder. I'll tell you all the value of them and how many you all have, and you all can kind of keep, just like a team pot like we always do.
Yeah, when Xavath hands me your scrolls, I would check them out quickly to see what they are.
Okay.
If of anything.
Yep. So one is a blessed scroll, one is protection from poison, and the other is spiritual weapon.
Nice. She's such a
Did you hand him all the papers or just the scrolls?
Just the scrolls. I still
Okay.
have everything else kind of like. I wanted to check the books real quick before, because I wasn't going to try to read them to discern them, just to see if they were worth reading, and then passing out. So I still have the papers in hand.
Okay.
So the way scrolls work, for at least wizards is if when we get to a long rest at some point, I can copy them into my book, can't I?
Yeah, it takes like an hour, I think, is what it's.
Yeah, the
And
way-
gold too.
Hour and gold.
So it's supposed to be 1 hour per level. I hate that rule. So with me, it's just, hey, if you spend an hour and a gold amount that we agree upon, or really it's not even gold, right? I prefer like the actual resources that you would need, right? For higher level spells, there's magical ink. You'll need magical ink and a certain quality of paper or parchment to do these things, right? I think that makes it a little bit more than just, hey, I'm randomly throwing 25 gold up into the air to do this. Like, I don't care for that. That's just me.
Yeah, it's weird, but I get why they do it, but it's weird.
Right.
Whenever we get to a long rest, tell me what I would at least would be need to be looking for if I had the items, or if we need to
Okay.
buy them or whatever.
With these, you would just need to spend an hour, and we can figure out currency. Or like, if for something like this, like it's just normal like pen and parchment. All right, babe, I love you. Yeah. With levels like this, where it's too easy. Like,
Yeah,
it
we'll
would
sort
just be an hour.
we'll sort that whenever we get a long rest.
Okay.
And then
So
some of
that-
the papers.
Yeah. So as you start to go through them, you notice that one of them is the deed to the house, the Durst Manor. One is a deed to a windmill, and one is a signed will. The windmill refers to a location east of Vallaki. It doesn't have an address, but it is the windmill east of Vallaki on a rocky crag.
Kind of like in a painting we saw recently.
Yeah. Almost exactly like a painting you all just saw. The will, as you look at it a little bit closer, is signed by both Gustav and Elizabeth, and bequeaths the house, the windmill, and all other family property to Rose and Thorn Durst in the event of their parents' death. The other piece of paper is it's a very clean and elegant black envelope. Are you gonna open it?
Do I get anything from it?
It's not magical. It's not magical.
Then I would open it.
Okay. Let me. What you all see is going to be right. All right, you all should be able to see it in Foundry.
Okay, my most pathetic servant. I am not a messiah sent to you by the dark powers of this land. I have not come to lead you on a path to immortality. However, many souls you have bled on your hidden altar. However, many visitors you have tortured in your dungeon. Know that you are not the ones who brought me to this beautiful land. You are but worms writhing in my earth. You say that you are cursed, fortune spent. You abandoned love for madness, took solace in the bosom of another woman, and sired a stillborn son. Cursed by darkness? Of that I have no doubt. Save you from your wretchedness? I think not. I much prefer you as you are. Your dread lord and master, Strahd von Zarovich. And I would. Who had the letter that we had from when we found the dead body? Was it me?
Yeah.
Well, you.
It was me, right? I read it the last time too. So I would just say, well, this looks like it fucking matches.
Can you guys check your handouts real quick and see if it popped up? If you go to handout pages, it should be Pathetic Servant.
I pulled out the first one we got, and noticed that names aren't matching. The letter that was signed by a burgomaster, the last name of Endurovich. The way he wrote it, it made it sound like he was talking about himself. We're in a house, but he had a symbol that said Durst, like the stamp that was on the letter. We're in the Durst house, they have the same stamp. Why is one name different than the other?
I mean, he might be the cult master or something.
Well, that's all we had talked about. We hadn't
I got you.
figured anything else out.
Okay.
But from that letter from previous, Strahd, make it seem like he had a response. So now the question is, my head personally, as I'm sifting through these two papers, where was this guy going? That he still had this letter as if he was going to send it out, but we have another letter that looks like it was already a response. That's where I would be traveling with the group. Because I guess we're going to the third floor now.
Where I got y'all, I went ahead and moved y'all up before everybody starts popping doors and doing the normal shit. So as you all come up to the third floor, standing in front of you is a immaculate red set of armor, covered in dust. Looks like it hasn't been moved in quite some time. It has golden accents on the chest plate. It's a circle, and it comes off with what appears to be like golden feathers that branch the entire, width of the chest plate. And those same feathers can be seen wrapping the shoulders, the gauntlets, and down on the thighs as well. There's no head to this particular set of armor. It's just a set of armor. There's no helmet.
Detect magic still up? It gets an hour, right?
Is it? I'll say check that real quick.
It was 10 minutes.
I think it's 10 minutes.
So I would say probably not by this point.
Okay.
Ooh, excuse me, boys. Sorry.
I would cast it again once it went out because we're still going to be in this house.
Okay.
So I would just have that up again.
Okay. So you would cast it again. All right, hold on.
Does detect magic see an aura coming from the armor?
It does. It does. I'm just it sees transmutation is the school, and it is extremely bright and vivid.
I would
So,
be explaining this to at least Jynx.
Yeah, let's not touch that. Let's give it a wide berth and hope that opening a door doesn't activate anything.
I didn't think about that.
Because I know what that is. I don't know if Jynx would know what that is. The DJ knows what that is. This is a very small area to fuck around with that.
Being 30 feet up in the air right now.
So we're looking for the child, so we're going to keep checking rooms.
Okay.
With the knowledge of the armor set being magical, I would warn everyone, if you're going to open a door, do it slowly, check for everything.
As you all walk up to these doors again, you notice that they are ornately carved. Only this time they seem to be carved with woodland scenes of trees, falling leaves, and tiny critters. As you all notice, things don't necessarily look the way you initially think they do. As you take a closer look, you notice tiny corpses hanging from the trees and worms bursting out from the ground.
Is this like illusionary until you pay attention to it? Would that be something like a vibe that we would get from looking at these things? Like not to trust first glance kind of deal?
So it's not illusionary, like by magic. It's
Oh,
just
no,
like
I'm
the
just saying,
little
like in
details.
general.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
we would be like, hold on, that looks nice.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yep.
Okay.
Deej, as you walk up to that door, before you go in, I want to give you the full idea before you open that. You begin to hear, as you go to reach to hit the door handle, you begin to hear what sounds to be the weepings of a female coming from the other side of the door.
Hmm.
They're soft. They sound sorrowful. They sound extremely sad.
Knowing that now, I would not have just opened the door.
I got you. That's why I was like,
Thank-
hold on. Yep.
Thank you for allowing me to retcon that a little bit. I would make sure everyone else heard it, obviously, and ask how we want to approach this, because this could be the room where I saw a woman who was not the child's mother, or in the painting at least, holding a baby. And
I was about to ask.
The letter we saw earlier said something about finding love in the bosom of another woman and having a stillborn child.
Correct. And then the other
This
side
could
to
be
that,
this could be a fight in here, is where I'm going with that.
right. The other side to that in my head was also to say the kid told us it was to the left of the staircase where the child would, right?
Which this
that
is
what
the
they told
left,
us?
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so this is. So I'm like,
Do we want to check the other doors first, or do we want to go ahead and hit this one?
I think it's best that we do. At least for me, it's best we get our bearing on this floor before heading into
see if
what
there's
it could be
anything
potentially
else.
dangerous.
If there's any other people on this floor,
Uh,
just in case.
It's a storage closet. There's a broom in the back. You would notice that it too seems to be glowing with transmutation.
Gus?
You said the broom?
The broom.
As soon as Xavath would tell me that, I'd go over and grab it, just like I did the book. I recognize that this is probably not the right move on this one, but
Fuck it.
Let's get the ball rolling. Fuck it. Yep. It's fucking Tuesday, baby.
Alright, so here's how we're gonna do some of these like little fights, right? Because it's literally
can I say how I grab it first?
that's literally so. We'll do theater of the mind for this because it's a fucking broom, right?
Right.
And you guys aren't level 1. We're already at 3. So this isn't even a fight worth having. It's like it's quarter CR. So like as you kind of put together, Jynx, that this thing might come to fucking life in some stupid way, you go and grab, and I'll let you describe how you essentially do this with ease.
I walk up to it, and my first reaction, being the machine that I am, is, oh, it's going to open another door. And I grab it, and the moment I grab it, I think I feel it start to move on its own. And
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, shit. And I put another hand on it and just drive it into the ground. I'm not like hurting it, I'm pinning it more than anything. And then I cast Thunder Wave.
That
Oh.
makes
I said what I
sense.
said.
Okay.
I said what I said.
Yeah. Oh, I like this version. Of
Wait,
you.
what? I don't know. I don't know what Thunderwave does.
A really loud boom and some damage.
Oh no.
And
It's a con
damage.
save, 15 for the broom.
Okay.
Broom rolls
You
in
know,
that one.
Jynx is a chaotic character, man. Jynx is the toucher of things. Okay, y'all want to be
Let's-
careful.
There's like a moment where I'm standing in this doorway. He grabs it the first time as I'm going, right? And then you have your moment and you grab the second thing, and then all of a sudden I just hear the casting of Thunderwave, and I'm like,
To be,
Oh,
to be
well,
fair,
shit.
The
to be
broom
fair, my
rolled
head.
a 12.
that's a fail.
Okay.
So full damage, thunder damage at that.
I thought you were just gonna snap it straight over your knee. Not gonna lie.
No, nine
Bang.
thunder damage. And I'm gonna try to hold it down if it's continuing to try to move after that.
Yeah, I mean, it would totally try to move. I mean, honestly, at that point, the next person to hit this thing is gonna fucking gonna knock it.
If I'm not mistaken, Xavath and Gravin have to make that con save too, don't they?
Yes.
We're in line, yeah.
Like fuck them to the side.
Con save.
Con save.
Oh,
DC's
thank
15.
23.
Thank Jesus. 16 plus stuff.
23.
Okay, they both pass, so that's half damage, and you don't get pushed. So thank God for that.
That's what I was getting ready to be like.
Yeah.
Saves.
Half damage is half, and then rounded up or down.
Round down. Round
Okay,
down.
so four thunder damage for each of you, and you don't get pushed off the rail.
Yeah, because that we would be. They would hurt.
It would fall 30 feet.
Yeah.
bitches is another 3d10.
Now,
Yeah,
if
so
I-
I've got this thing pinned, and I just blasted it. The room is a fucking mess. The shelves are like obliterated. There's shit from the shelves all over the fucking room. Half of it blew out of the room. And I'm just sitting here holding this thing down, and my head very calmly just swivels to the side and looks at you and goes, "Help!"
I'll walk in to smack the shit out of this thing. I don't know how, but
You're gonna have advantage because I'm pinning it down.
yeah, but well, you know what I mean. Like it's one of those things where I'm like, I don't
Yeah,
know
I mean, if he's holding it
weird.
down, you reach
Yeah.
over his body and like you can see right, like in the middle of the actual
Where
broomstick
his
itself. You
grams,
just go ahead and just hammer right on it, and with that, I'm not even gonna make you roll for it. Like with that, like it had 1 HP left, boys. Right? With that fucking with that, the broomstick snaps in half and splinters just shatter and fly and stick into the walls. The broom head itself falls limp, and there's no threat there anymore.
Torrent is just standing outside, my hands over my ears, with just the most shocked expression of what I have just witnessed.
Jake stands up and grabs the broken part where like the mop or broom piece is and starts dusting himself off from all the shit that blew all over the place with the bottom of this animated broom.
Hell yeah. All right, which room's next, boys?
And he steps back out and goes, "I really miscalculated that one. Sorry, guys."
Meanwhile, I'm like this. Yeah, it's
Loud
fine.
as fuck.
What?
Can we just not grab any more magical shit?
There's
Oh,
three
fuck's
doors.
sake.
There's three doors up here. I'll let
Yeah,
you
I
all
was-
fucking.
I was gonna say I would just go across the hallway.
I'm going to check this one.
Get away
I
from the-
was getting ready to go up there, but I'm fucking found you, Christ.
So those are just, it's like 2 French doors, swinging French doors.
Oh, okay.
So,
Oh my god.
in front of you all is the master suite. Yeah. Double doors to this room have dusty panes of stained glass set into them. The design in the glass resembles a windmill, sitting up on a rocky crag.
We keep that deed.
Yes, I have all the papers.
So the dusty cobweb-filled master bedroom has burgundy drapes covering the windows. Furnishings includes a 4-poster bed with embroidered curtains and tattered gossamer veils, a matching pair of empty wardrobes, a vanity, and a wood-frame mirror, and a jewelry box sits on a dresser. There's also a padded chair. A rotting tiger skin rug lies on the floor in front of the fireplace. Fireplace has a dust-covered portrait of Gustav and Elizabeth hanging above it. It's not the same one that you all have seen before. They seem to be younger in this particular one. There's a web-filled parlor in the corner where DJ? Where DJ's currently at, and that is a balcony that you just opened. As you open the door, you can step out on the balcony, but the mist is completely surrounding the perimeter. You
Can I
can't
see the
through it.
kids?
Say what?
Can I see
No.
the kids?
You can't see anything. It's like a thick veil of fucking fog.
Am I on the same side of the house that they were on? Do I know that much?
You would know that you were on the opposite side of the house that they were on.
Got it.
With how everything is right now, you would imagine that the room that you first tried to go into would be the same side as where the front
Got
door
it.
is.
Okay. You said there's a jewelry box in here?
There is, in fact, a jewelry box.
Can I check it out?
That you can. Give me 1 second.
Oh, with the jewelry box, with detect magic still being up, I'd see that also being magical. Oh,
Say what?
magical. The box. Was there any magic coming from
No,
it? Anything in this
no,
room shining?
No. It's just an ornate jewelry box made out of silver and wood. Value-wise, it seems to probably be worth about 75 gold. If you were to open it, there's 3 gold rings, and a thin platinum necklace in it. The rings would be valued at 25 gold apiece, and the necklace would be 15.
I'll leave it where it is for now.
Okay.
Good call.
Actually, I apologize. I read the wrong fucking platinum necklace. This one has a topaz pendant on the end of it, and it is valued at 750 gold.
Is it a closet?
I'll say I'm about to open this door to below me.
Where?
You can blow me.
He's right in front of the bed.
Oh, that's the dumbwaiter.
Oh,
No, it's
Oh,
not.
wait, no,
This is the
that's,
dumbwaiter.
that's the dumbwaiter. That's the closet. Yeah, yeah. It's just a closet.
shit! Time to go back in the closet, boys.
I never came out.
Huh.
Everybody leave. Leave before he comes out.
No.
There's another door here. Do we want to open this one?
Do's it.
Yep. So that is a bathroom. Within the dark bathroom, there's a wooden tub with clawed feet, a small iron stove, and a kettle resting atop of it, and a barrel under a spigot. Now let's see, a cistern on the roof seems to be used to collect rainwater, which then pipes down. It seems though the piping has some pretty big rust holes in it. Probably isn't usable anymore.
And hasn't been for a long time, I would guess.
Quite possibly.
A bit of
Okay.
sanding down, look good, isn't he?
Seeing that, Jynx is going to go back into this room. He's going to take the jewelry box and slip it into his backpack. And then come back out and say, are we ready to enter the last door?
So I would have went back across the hallway after seeing that there was nothing really worth me looking at since everybody else was checking it out. Would I still hear the crying? The reason why I'm asking is because of the thunder wave spell.
And you're standing next to the door.
I'm by the door near, yeah. Like I went
Alright.
back to the other side.
Currently, you do still hear the crying, or the whimpering, or whatever we want to call it.
I just wait for everybody to come out and then say, well, last legs.
Let's do it.
Fuck it.
Okay.
There you go.
As you all open the door, the cries stop. In front of you is a barren, adult bedroom with blood-stained sheets on the bed. There's a bookshelf to your all's, I guess to the north, right? Northeast that you all can see. And there's two other doors. Let's see, I'm gonna ping real quick. The door that's right here is just a standard wooden door. The ones to the south are double stained glass French doors that lead out to a balcony.
So
Those are windows.
That's not the south.
it's the
Or west, there we go, yeah.
This,
Yeah.
okay.
And same thing, DJ, out on that balcony.
Don't open that door.
Oh no, we're not.
Jinx would be like, don't open the door. What am I seeing on the bed right here?
On the bed. Let me make sure I do this right. There is... Hold on. There is... So, it's not necessarily a bed, it's actually it's a crib. You seem to be peering into a nursery of sorts. What you can see seems to be small skeletal remains half wrapped in a blanket. Give me a perception check real quick.
Okay. Mm-hmm. 11.
You notice looking through the window on the far side of the black veiled crib, almost seems to be like a silhouette of a woman. You can't make any features out. And you question for a second if it's the shadows playing tricks on you, or if somebody's actually standing in that far corner.
I would communicate that to the team.
I'm assuming this person would have heard us
If it's a person.
talking. Well, whatever.
I'm telling you, everyone in here's dead. That's a ghost, I guarantee it. I would come back to the room and communicate exactly what I'm seeing in the other, in what is probably a nursery. I would explain the dead baby that's decomposed to the point where it's just bones now. And I think I would casually walk by them and leave the information with them to do what they want. And I'm going to inspect this bookcase right here.
So as you... so it's a wardrobe, not a bookcase, but I know what you meant.
Yep.
Go ahead. X.
Not gonna do that part,
Okay.
but I'll say it after.
So it is where every other book or every other wardrobe that you've seen has just been like a standard wardrobe, even the one that's in the master bedroom. This one has ornate carvings on it. It seems to be various berry bushes and vines kind of intertwining all up and down both the doors. As you take a closer look, you realize that some of these berries are actually eyeballs. They're carved eyeballs, to be clear, not actual eyeballs.
Okay.
With the information that Jynx would have given us as he was looking up, like, I think we need to leave this house now.
Torrin just instantly agrees. Yeah,
This house gonna let us out?
Nope.
I don't think those kids were. If that's what you think it is, and I'll like referencing Jynx, if that's what you think that is, there's no way them kids are real.
Jynx, give me a perception check real quick, since you're looking at that.
One second, because I would argue that I get investigation here based on what I'm about to say, but give me one second.
Okay.
I think Jynx would reply to that and say, I feel as though there's more to do here. We're missing something in this puzzle. Because Jynx looks at everything like a puzzle, right? There's always more.
It's the logic, right?
Yeah, and if the group agrees to try to leave, I will comply, but I do feel as though there's more here.
What
I will-
do you think we would find?
I don't know.
Our initial thing was to find the kid. I was like, we found it.
Well, sort of.
I would say I will just add Torrin's breathing has become really shaky since upon hearing the dead child in the other room.
Okay. That said, Jynx would actually like open the doors and pull the clothes aside and like inspect the back and the top and the bottom for any false doors or anything like that. And I would argue that gives me investigation instead of perception because I'm intentionally looking for something.
Okay, that's perfectly fine. As you go ahead and roll for me. As you part the clothes to the side, you notice that the entire back of this wardrobe is a mirror.
It's 24 on the roll for the investigation.
Okay. You're sitting there looking. As you're sitting there looking at it, you realize that in the top right corner, there seems to be a little gap between the back of the wardrobe, or where the mirror is, and the top of the wardrobe.
Okay.
You would assume that there's something behind this if you were able to give enough force.
Don't even hesitate. I reach up immediately, grab it, and try to open it or pull it or whatever it'll do.
Okay.
while having this conversation with the rest of the team about finding more.
Give me a strength check.
Guidance. As I noticed that he's gonna grab it, my hand would do the whole magical symbol thing, and I just touch his shoulder.
Funnels and balls.
Right? That would be a 14.
Okay. With relatively no trouble whatsoever, you go to push on this mirror and it cracks, and you give it one final push right as you feel X's hand kind of on your shoulder, and just boom right through. Everybody can hear the shattering of glass echo through the entire room. And you all from somewhere in the house hear a woman essentially shriek. It is so loud that all of you for probably 2 or 3 seconds are just stunned by the sheer volume of this shriek. We are not in initiative, but cause and effect. Behind the secret door seems to be a staircase that leads up.
Okay. Jynx would pull back out after hearing the noise and say, "That seems to be an additional problem."
There's a problem for a later time.
Can I roll perception to see here which direction the sound came from, whether it came from the door that Jynx just opened or the door we came from?
Or the door we haven't opened.
Yeah, or the door we haven't opened. Anywhere where it might have come from.
With just listening for a second after that, you would hear those wailings start up again from the nursery, this time more upset, louder. Not as loud as a shriek, but this is the same tone. You would be able to deduce that whatever just shrieked probably is behind that door.
Okay. In the nursery, you mean?
In the nursery, yes.
Right. Okay. I would
It's
propose
not-
that we leave the...
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing coming towards you all. It's just that is...
Jynx would propose that we leave that door alone for now and climb up to what I assume would be the attic, because I don't recall there being a 4th floor.
Okay.
Am I correct? Is there a 4th floor?
There is not. You all are technically
an
on
attic, okay.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
So with that...
Let's clear it out.
With all this timing, when I walk to this cabinet or wardrobe, I guess because I'm assuming Jynx is after saying, "Hey, there's a staircase, we should go up it." We're all moving in that direction. Would I see anything magical? Because I don't, or is my detect magic still up? I guess.
Your detect's still up. There's nothing magical in this exact area. Music will come back. I just swapped it again.
Yep.
So.
The reason why I ask is because I'm trying to discern: is this like a portal?
Gotcha.
Right, like
Nope.
because there's no visible evidence that we saw that should be an additional floor.
So
we saw an attic. We saw a room where there were area where there would be an attic.
So you guys would be able to deduce that most likely this is where the attic door has always been. They just tried to hide the attic
Gotcha.
with the wardrobe.
Right. So instead of doing a doorway, they actually just blocked it all off.
Right. All right. Let me move your all's.
Oh, this is gonna get fucky, boys. Finding spooky.
I'm going to.
Dude, Jynx is ready to get into everything. Like, I'm gonna get us
No,
into
no,
so many
I'm good with
goddamn
it.
problems.
I'm good with it. I'm fine.
You're good with it until you get mad at my ass for doing something that you didn't want me to
Bro,
do.
At this point, DJ, ever since Outlast, I'm mad at you every time you touch a thing. So it
Brother,
doesn't matter.
we are turning Jynx into a fucking trash bin.
All right.
Whatever.
I'm not fighting you. You can fight him.
All right. Can you guys see where you're at?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Without doing anything, let me paint the picture for you all. All right, so you all came up the stairs, and yes, 100% this is an attic. Okay. The hall is bare that you all are currently standing in. There's just cobwebs and dust everywhere. Around you, there is an assortment of 4 doors. let me know which one you all want to go to, and let me read before you open it, just to make sure. Okay.
Okay. Start with the bottom one.
Yeah, just your normal bottom to top.
Yeah, go clockwise, counterclockwise, something like that.
This one?
The counter.
Yeah, this one.
Okay.
He said let him read
Oh.
it before he opened the door.
I missed that part. My bad.
If I say okay, you're good. So you can go ahead and
Okay.
open it. It's unlocked. You're good. You can open that door. All right. So in front of you is a dust-streaked room that contains a slender bed, a nightstand, a small iron stove, a writing desk with a stool, an empty wardrobe, and a rocking chair. A smiling doll in a lacy yellow dress sits in the northern windowsill, which is actually going to be the western windowsill. Western. Because
That's
everything's
fucking
90
Annabelle,
degrees.
isn't it?
Cobwebs draping over her like a wedding veil. This room seems to have not been touched in a while. Nothing really of note. Seems to almost be like a guest bedroom of sorts.
Like a governess's room.
Anything in the bookshelf?
Nope. Completely barren.
Is that dog
Any
glowing
standby
to you,
bed or
X?
anything?
Nope.
Nothing on the desk either?
This room is completely empty, besides the
Okay.
furniture.
Alright. Next.
There's two of them here in this corner.
North or south?
Oh, yeah, there is south.
So,
Okay.
Oh, goddamn it.
Motherfuckers. You're fine. You're
You said
fine.
okay.
Oh, did I?
You did say okay.
You said
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine.
Listen, you can't use
so-
okay because okay is your normal phrase, so you have to be like, you can touch the door. Like, just let's.
All right, go in. Go in. That's what
There
we'll
you
say. Go in.
Okay, there you go.
Okay.
All right.
It's you guys go in. It's a dusty chamber that seems to be packed with old furniture, chairs, coat racks, standing mirrors, dress mannequins, and the like, all draped in dusty white sheets. Near an iron stove, underneath one of the sheets, is a wooden trunk. That's really the only thing that you all would see of note, and you all would immediately recognize that this is a chest of some sort that is draped with a sheet.
Jinx.
After that
Test
last
that chest.
I rub it up. Okay.
Test it.
See if it's alive or something. Check it out.
Why do you're not answering my question? Why
You
do
broke up when you
I
said it.
have to test it?
Right? Like, you can touch it too. Like, that would be my response. I'd be like, yeah, just remove the blanket.
You're closer.
Alright, I removed the cover off of it.
Okay.
We're all
It
dying,
is-
We're all
Says I
dying.
wanna get in trouble
Yeah.
for touching something.
It is
It's a mimic. Let's go.
as you pull the sheet off. It's a wooden chest.
Does that have a lock on it?
No, lock's not on it. It seems to be unlocked if you wanted to open it. There's no magical aura coming from it.
I'll take my
That's one
hand axe and kind of pry it open. Without me physically
As
touching
you-
it.
You take the blade of the axe and try to separate the lid from the actual chest itself. It's almost like you're anticipating like a dart trap, like the one you saw downstairs. There's nothing. You get it, an inch or two up. Nothing triggers. You want to open it fully?
Yeah.
Okay. As you open it fully, there is an immense, wretched stench that comes pouring out and filling the room.
Nope, I'm going.
There is a skeleton in the fetal position, an adult skeleton in the fetal position at the bottom of this chest.
I know this is gonna sound funny, but there is a way to determine between man versus woman. Skeletal remains.
Yeah, but
Just the
does your
total
character
one.
know that?
That's why I was gonna ask. Could I roll to determine whether or not it was a man or a woman?
Sure.
Yeah, medicine
there-
check for sure, right?
Yeah, medicine. And there's also a blood splattered sheet that is the same color as the one that you all saw downstairs, wrapped up and kind of curled in a ball off to the side in here as well.
I am going to cast guidance on myself as well. I'm getting all of this. 19.
Okay. As you look at it, you realize that there's still... She is not fully decomposed. She still has a little bit of flesh and muscle matter on her torso, and as you sit there and look at it for a second, not only can you say that yes, it's a woman, but she appeared to die by knife stabbings. There's multiple lacerations that have just been separated and gaping through her rotting flesh.
Are we in London?
I'll kind of look around and I'm like,
I know the smell.
could this be the one who gave birth, or
It's too big to be a
That's-
stillborn
and
baby.
I'm like, if that's a ghost, could this be her body?
I don't really see a way to tell
Right, like
if it's so decomposed.
I mean, stabbings. The only thing I can think of stabbings would be like force removal. Pregnancy
Yeah.
also. We don't know how the stabbings were. We could just see the markings, I would assume. Like the knife grooves.
Yeah.
Bone.
I don't see a reason to
I
stay
would
here.
fuck with it. Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
time to close and go. Close the lid.
I-
It stinks.
Yep.
As you all turn to leave the room,
I like that.
there is a silhouette of a woman standing in the doorway.
The doorway to exit.
Yes,
Yeah, can I add? I left the room as soon as that chest opened.
you would still. Oh, well, then you would be outside there, so that you'd be fine. You wouldn't have seen her.
Does it appear to be the same woman that I saw in the nursery?
Yes. And through her dress, you can see slash marks all on her ribs and all around her stomach. She's pale, eyes completely white. Not saying a thing, just staring. Just staring at the chest.
Jynx, not understanding social norms, would hold a hand up and say, "Hello, is that your body?"
Without moving. Without looking at you, without... Okay.
Artie, upon hearing Jinx say hi, is that your body? I'd be looking back into the room. I don't know if from behind, if I see anything or.
So, as you kind of turn around and look, there 100% is a woman in a bloody dress standing between you, the doorway, and them in the room. Jinx,
What
to
were you
you, she, yeah, I had to get my train of thought back, sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. I was trying to help you find it.
She, without moving a muscle, I mean, her mouth doesn't even move. You all hear a very weak and somber woman's voice. Like, he said he loved me. And he hurt me. He hurt us. And as she's saying this, or as you hear this voice, you can still hear the audible whimpers that you heard downstairs. Only now they're constant because this entity's standing right in front of you.
Is there a way we can assist you?
And who is he?
No response.
Okay. Jynx will try to leave the room.
You all watch as Jynx, without hesitations, just like, excuse me, just gonna come on by you. You all notice on both sides that Jynx's arm goes right through her. Like, he tries to scoot around her, and he catches and just right through her physical presence. She doesn't react to it. Jynx, do you feel hot and cold?
Yeah, I have all my senses.
Okay. As that happens, your hand would get not like freezing cold, but there's definitely like a 20-degree temperature drop.
Yeah,
from the
noticeable
radiance.
temperature change.
Yeah, yeah.
I would look at the what now I would assume would be a ghost, spectral, and I'd say two names: Gustav or Collian.
Say them again.
Gustav Collian.
As you say Gustav for the second time, this whole time she's just been staring at the chest, right? She literally just, like, you watch as her eyes slowly close, and when she snaps them open again, she's looking right at you.
I think I have it figured out.
It's a bastard.
Her
son.
breathing becomes extremely labored. And again, she just keeps repeating, Gustav, Gustav, why? Gustav, why? And as she does, she begins to scream. And she kind of kneels over and holds her stomach. And as she does, blood pours down her legs, soaking the entire front of her dress and starting to ooze all over the floor. Her feet are completely covered in red. She looks at you and just yells, "Save the children." And she yells it in that same shriek that you heard that echoed through the entire house. And within a snap of a finger, she's gone. It's dead silent.
Jynx, you still with the kids?
I'll check in with Skitter and see if he's still with the kids outside.
Comes back.
Is the blood still there?
They're gone. I don't know where they went. They're gone.
I told you to let me know if anything changed.
I'm sorry. I tried. And like, you can tell this voice is frantic. Like, motherfucker, I've been trying to get a hold of you for the last fucking 30 minutes. Like.
How long ago?
Maybe it's no more than a half hour. 20 minutes ago, I literally turned just to look at the front door, and I turned back around. They're gone. They were gone.
Is my familiar still out there with him?
Yes.
I would command my familiar to hop on Skitter's back, and I would tell Skitter to come inside and find us up in the attic and explain where the door to get up here is and everything. Just have him come meet me. If they're no longer there, there's no sense in leaving them out there.
Okay. And it'll take him, like 2 or 3 minutes to get all the way
whatever.
over, just finding his way around. But yeah.
So, assuming we're all together again, I know we haven't moved our tokens, and we don't have to.
Nope.
Once we're all together,
Yep.
I think Jynx would say, asking us to save the children is puzzling. I speculate that was not the children's mother, but instead the other woman that was mentioned in the letter from Strahd? Was it Strahd von Zarovich? I'm RPing, bro. Gosh.
No, I'm responding. Yeah.
I know.
Like, my character's like.
So I'm wondering if this Zarovich gave Gustav a hard time about impregnating another person, and then lashed out and murdered her and the baby.
That again?
I'm wondering. So in the letter, Zarovich wrote a letter to Gustav, I believe, correct?
Yeah.
It was,
Yep.
it
I'm
was
going
addressed
to
to
pay
him.
you while you do this. I'm going to pay you.
Yeah.
But,
It was addressed to Gustav, and it basically said that he impregnated another woman and how it was an abomination or something along those lines, and considered him as low as worms wriggling in the earth. what if Gustav got that letter, and that's when he went nuts and killed the woman he was having an affair with, who was mothering his unborn baby. He murdered her, stabbing her in the ribs and stabbing her in the stomach, killing her and the baby. Or maybe just killing her and cutting the baby out of her. I don't know. But it seems as though Gustav may have murdered this woman, and her asking us to save the children is a puzzling thing for the mother of your affair baby to say about your children from a different woman. Does that make sense?
Yep. But there's only one hole that we haven't filled. It's the name Colian. The reason why I asked that was the original letter that we found.
I was just about to pull it up, actually.
Yeah, said the same exact thing.
Colian and Zarovich, that's right.
And his
Burgomaster.
And the response from Strahd matches more this letter than anything that we've heard about Gustav.
It seems as though perhaps Gustav was just murdered. We gotta look at the timeline here, right? We found his body shortly after it had been attacked.
Right.
Yeah, there wasn't any decomposition or anything on the body.
Exactly. Right. That's exactly where I'm going with this. Whereas this one is almost fully decomposed. Artie, I would like to roll a survival or nature or medicine check, whichever one you feel like applies correctly here, for a robot to determine how long the average body takes to decompose. You're muted.
To fully decompose?
Yes.
Okay. I would say survival or medicine, whichever you prefer.
They're the same for me, so it doesn't really matter, but we'll go medicine for flavor. Ooh. 7. I'm not rolling good tonight, boys.
I don't...
Would I be able to... I should have asked this beforehand, but could I also roll as well if I know his train of thought?
Yeah,
I'd be 100%. Saying it out loud. Yeah, I'd be saying it out loud.
I'm just gonna roll.
Yeah,
too,
as you guys kind of watch Jynx ponder for a minute, he just comes back with a statement along the lines of, "I actually have no idea."
Yeah. So whenever Jynx is going through his mental shit like this, where he's pondering something or trying to figure it out, he verbalizes it as a habit.
So I
and this is, we can make this a permanent thing unless I specifically say Jynx wouldn't say something. Yeah, if he's thinking through something and it's safe to talk, he would think through it audibly.
I got you out loud.
This is a personality trait.
I rolled a nat 20 for a 27.
Fuck yes, bro.
Finally, right?
So,
I mean, fucking hell.
You owe me 7 fucking more, okay?
okay. Yeah, that's
you would know to get fully down to bones, right? So we're not talking this necessarily, right? We're talking about true bones. You're looking at least a year of decomposition, right? We're just going to use easy.
Sure.
We're going to use easy math right now. Okay.
But not far from this, though. You said there was only a little bit of flesh on the ribs, right? It was mostly decomposed. So we're talking 10 months?
Yeah.
Correct. So that's what I was going to get to. Knowing the full extent or duration, you would probably guess that this would have been within about 9 to 10 months. Yeah. There wasn't a lot of flesh left, but that smell, right? By the time we get to full decomp, that smell's gone. It's completely gone.
100%. Okay. So I don't know if maybe Gustav was in with this Colian person. Maybe they were part... I don't know what a burgomaster is. Would I know what a burgomaster is? Does anybody know what a burgomaster is? Do I need to roll for that, or can I Google it?
No, you can
well, yeah, I was
Alright.
Does any of our characters would any of our characters even know what that is?
I would say just because of
it is
the realm that you're in, right? A mayor of a Dutch, Flemish, or German, Austrian, or Swiss town.
So like a Transylvania-like town.
There you go.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so this guy is a mayor. So, but we found this guy outside of Barovia.
Right. So this guy was
Off the beaten
traveling
path.
with a letter with we're assuming it's him, right? With his family crest stamp on the letter, but the letter was sent by the mayor talking about his own wife going through an affliction.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think all
So
those are accurate statements.
These are more like just nobles of the town more than anything, right? Like
Seems
they
that
didn't
way,
run
yeah.
anything. They were just a good named family. So that makes more sense to me now at this point. I'm like, okay.
I speculate that these last two doors are the kids' bedrooms.
So we're checking them. Yeah. We'll
It's the
keep
only
checking
way to
the
find out.
rooms. Yeah.
As
I'm
you
gonna
walk
open.
As you try to open them, they are locked. Looks to
No,
be
they're not.
a... Which one? Oh, no, that one you can open. Yeah, that's fine. There's nothing
That's
in
the
there
door
worth
we
a
were.
shit.
That's the room we were
Yeah,
first
there's-
talking about.
That's
Yeah.
just another empty fucking room. That's just an
Okay.
empty
Okay.
bedroom, nothing worthwhile. So, yeah, that one... I'm sorry, I forgot you all hadn't been in that one yet.
Yep.
It's just another bedroom, nothing. I'm not even waste your all's time with that one. As you walk up to the last door, you do realize that it is, in fact, locked.
I will try to pick the lock unless somebody else has a sleight of hand higher than 3.
Mine's 3 as well.
Guidance. Touch
Got
the
it.
back of your head. Finger point.
Go for a pets while she rolls that.
If you open this, I'm not unlocking it until he comes back.
Yeah, that's
That's
fine.
fine.
Just so we are clear. Okay.
That's a fight. That's what it means. It's a fight.
Maybe.
Yeah.
14.
Okay. It's a simple, like, door lock. So.
Oh,
you're
wait,
one-
nope. 16, 17, because I didn't add my modifier. 17.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to pick it, no problem. You all hear a metallic click. You know it's open. So as soon as Connor gets back,
It's like
Sorry, go ahead.
Jynx
I
was
picked the
able to pick the lock. As you all open the door. This room.
I'm fucking frozen. Fuck's sake.
good. That looks great.
On opening the door,
We get
assuming
down?
that I'm standing,
Yep.
I feel as though my body would block a lot of the view because I'm a very large creature, right? I'm
Right.
like 7.5 feet tall. Assuming that the things I see on the floor are similar to what I saw in the nursery, without turning around or allowing anybody through, I would just speak back to us and say, "Don't let Torin in here." Just piecing together the little bits that I've been able to piece together so far.
Okay.
I would say that.
As
And I would continue to stand there until there was an acknowledgement of some kind.
Okay.
Taring was standing there and really heavy breathing because kind of clocking on what Jynx is kind of saying. I'm kind of like, I don't know, doing that with my fucking hands, just the palms are getting sweaty and all that. But I do
Palms
slowly just at least stay back to the side of the door. I'm like no way of being able to actually look in.
So, as this all starts to happen and Torin takes kind of a step to the side, you all can audibly hear him, not trembling, but that
Take a
breathing.
breath.
Yeah, exactly. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like when your nerves and adrenaline start, just that heavy breathing, a little bit of quivering within his voice echoes through. As you all walk into what appears to be a children's bedroom. This room contains a bricked up window flanked by 2 dusty wooden framed beds sized for children. Closer to the door is a toy chest with windmills painted on its side and a dollhouse that's a perfect replica of the dreary edifice in which you stand. These furnishings are draped in cobwebs. Lying in the middle of the floor are 2 small skeletons wearing tattered yet familiar clothing. The smaller of the two cradles a stuffed doll that you also recognize.
Did the windows bricked up?
The window is, in fact, bricked up.
Okay, just wanted to make sure I heard that correctly.
Yes.
Anything on the beds, in the dollhouse? I'll check the chests last if they're all barren or empty.
If you go over to, if you look at the dollhouse, it is literally an exact replica, to where you can literally take the roof off and start to kind of piecemeal everything. You see where the attic was. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm not gonna disassemble the house, but I am gonna pull like the roof off and the floors up to see down and see if there are any rooms in this model that we did not see walking through the house. Anything that stands out of the ordinary, a stairwell, doors, anything like that at all. Anything that I don't recall from walking through the house.
Okay. Is anybody else in this room, or is it just you?
No, I stepped in with him.
I don't want to run with the lead, guys. So please chime in, cut me off, tell me to shut the fuck up. I always feel like I'm doing too much, and I don't want to keep doing that.
No, I mean at this point, honestly, to the point of your character, you are more curious, investigative, right? Yeah, so it wouldn't be out of the norm to have you just do it on your own and then tell us what the fuck you were doing. Okay. I wait.
As you take the roof off, you're sitting there for a second and looking. You know where you guys are at right now. The beds are placed in the exact same spots. There's even a little toy chest, right? I mean, this thing is immaculate. Literally one-for-one replica. You notice that back out in the hallway, there seems to be a spiral staircase that you have not seen.
It's at the end of the hall to our left on the map, I'm assuming, because that's where there's a little black box that we didn't uncover.
Yes.
Okay.
Over here.
Yeah.
It seems as though the door to get into that is back in the room that you are in, where you found the chest with the dead woman's remains.
Okay.
As you kind of take this in, the air in the room gets colder. And as you all from behind are standing in the doorway looking, two silhouettes seem to appear out of nowhere. You all would recognize them as Thorn and Rose. Thorn holding this stuffed doll that looks almost like a voodoo doll with pins and needles that I described the first session. He goes and sits on his bed, which is this one. Rose kind of stands over the remains of both of them. I see you found us.
That we did.
Jynx is just kind of staring. I don't think Jynx has ever seen a spirit like this before.
So
I
would pipe up and be like, so what happened?
Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that we had to lie.
It's okay.
It's been so long, and we just wanted to be found. We just want to go home. This isn't home. You see, my parents, they have these parties. I wasn't lying. There is a monster in the basement. I'm not lying. You see, when these parties would happen, we would be locked up here for the entire night. Only the last time nobody came to get us. For days,
Jesus
we were
Christ.
locked. For days, we were locked in. And as she says that, Thorn audibly just starts fucking whimpering. And if anybody looked over, he's like clutching his doll the same way that his corpse is like in the fetal position on the ground holding this doll. And she stops and says, it can't happen again, Thorn. You don't need to get upset about it. It's over with. We're dead. We're dead.
Jynx would walk up and kneel down next to her and say, emotions are really strange things. Oftentimes that people can't control them, and often it makes people do really strange things. I spend a lot of time watching people and learning emotions and how to best use them as a tool, because I don't really feel emotions the way you guys do. But give your brother a little patience. I think he could use it. Just because you don't feel a certain way about this doesn't mean he doesn't. Is there anything we can do to help you guys? It sounds... Did you starve to death up here?
We did.
How do we send you home?
Thorn, and just completely ignoring you, X. Just Thorn. Thorn only lasted about 3 days.
Hey.
I sat here looking at him for what I think could only be another 3 or 4. I was so tired. I was so thirsty. I screamed and I did everything I could, and she kind of points back over towards the door, and you can see just nail scratches on the wood where she tried. There's even a fingernail piece still stuck in one of the little ridges in the wood grain. They never came, and it got so cold, and I just curled up beside Thorn, and next thing you know, we were here again, but we weren't here. We can't leave. We can never leave, and we want to go home. Who in the party? Who's our cleric?
I am.
I will just add, whoever's closest to the door, I'm like back to wall, knelt down. I am trying, because I can hear everything through the door. I am trying really fucking hard right now not to break down.
X, give me a religion check.
I'm gonna cast guidance on myself for that.
At advantage, please.
Well,
God, even better.
I'm gonna roll it again.
2 nat ones, boys.
So that's natural 19 plus 6, 5.
While they keep saying they just want to go home. And while you yourself have never dealt with this in particular, you've heard of remains needing to be properly laid to rest in order to let the spirits pass on, right? You would get the idea that their remains need to be taken somewhere properly in the house to be laid to rest.
I would look at, because I'm assuming Jynx would be here. I don't know where you went. Crack, I don't know where you're standing. You're off to the right. I see you now. Never mind. So I'd be like, I think the only way to send them home is to bury whatever is left.
Without missing a beat, Jynx kneels down, opens up the bag of holding, and starts putting bones into it. Not realizing how disrespectful that is.
It's fine. Actually, you'd probably be able to take it back by it, but
It'd be more like.
You'd hear grabbing.
Right, like it's like
Jynx, respectfully, slow down.
Don't mix the bones.
as that's happening, Rose speaks up. There is a family crypt under the house. That's part of the basement. A lot of our families laid to rest there.
We couldn't find the entrance.
She walks over to the house.
Yeah, Jynx would chime in too. Spiral staircase right outside.
And as he says that, she's pointing at this hidden staircase right outside your all's door. Outside of their door.
Oh, that little. Got it. Okay. I see.
Who's the lady in the other room? Was that your mother, or is that...
That was not mother, and I don't even like to refer to him as my baby brother. You see, my dad wasn't faithful. He
Gotcha.
had a baby with our maid.
That'd be like governance.
And she refused to get rid of it. So he handled it, I suppose.
Hold it.
Jynx, not now.
Where is your mother now?
I don't know. The last we saw of her was the night that we got locked in here for the last party they had. After that night, nothing was heard. Nobody came.
We'll check the basement for you. Is there anything we can do for you in the meantime?
We just want to go home.
What's in the toy chest over there? Anything?
My dolls. And she walks over and she opens it.
Okay.
There's a couple dolls, just toys. There's nothing of particular interest.
Okay. I have to text Jen what I want from Taco Bell because my high ass is about to destroy some tacos. I'm ready to go down the steps to the basement. Whatever else you all want to do, go ahead and do what you got to do. I'm gonna be disconnected for a second.
That's fine. I'm at that point of. I wanted to leave this house a while ago, so let's go ahead and just hit it. I didn't want to come in this bitch to begin with. So.
I work my way over to that room and...
Yeah. So you guys come in and it's not hard. There's literally like a recess in that stone wall right there, and there's a little toggle button. Just boop, door swings open, and there is a spiral staircase that is dark as hell. As the door opens, that old musty smell just kind of washes through like stagnant air has just been here for forever. It's been quite some time since anybody has traveled down this passage. And with that, I'm going to move you all again. So quit moving, goddammit. Okay, so just like I did with Tomb of Annihilation, I'm going to describe the halls, widths, lengths, heights, all that shit, right, like I did back then. And if something is different, I will describe in that said room how the parameters have changed, okay? So, as you all descend 40 feet down into what is almost more of a crypt than it is a basement, per se. Things that you all should know right off the bat. All right, dungeon level beneath this house is carved out of earth, clay, and rock. The tunnels are 4 feet wide by 7 feet high, with timber braces at 5-foot intervals. Rooms, for the most part, are 8 feet tall, supported by a thick wooden post with crossbeams. The only exception is there is one room that has a 16-foot ceiling, which we will get to with stone pillars. All right. As you all go through this, you all will see on the floor, because it's earth, there are just footprints everywhere. Some are weathered, some are layered on top. You can tell that for years people have been down here. With that, as soon as you all step down into the hallways, there is a faint, eerie chant that's echoing through the halls. As of right now, it's a murmur. You can't necessarily make out what's being said, but it echoes through everywhere. Sounds to be multiple voices. At this point, the sound seems to be just bouncing very faintly off of every direction. You all can't key in on where exactly it's coming from.
Yeah. No, I see the hallways now after whoever moved then.
Okay.
Okay.
It's on you all. You all tell me where we're going to go, and I will go from there, because there's a lot of fucking rooms down here. So,
Start at the top and work our way down.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm behind Jynx.
Okay. So as you come into that area right there, DJ, give me a second. A wooden table with 4 chairs stands in the room. There's also 4 alcoves containing moldy straw pallets. There's nothing really in here. These seem to be beds, right? They're just, it seems to be a sleeping quarters of some sort.
Yeah. Okay. There's another pathway over here as well.
Okay. As we come into that, let's see, a 4-foot diameter well shaft stands with a 3-foot high stone lip, descends roughly what you all would think is 30 feet down into a water-filled cistern. You can hear the water kind of sloshing around. A wooden bucket hangs from the rope and pulley mechanism bolted to the cross beam above the well. There are 5 different little coves in this room. Seem to again be mattresses and wooden chests that probably hold personal belongings. Each chest is secured with what appears to be a rusty iron padlock, but seems to be able to be picked if you so choose.
At least one. I'll do this one right here. Just see what's in it.
Okay. Go ahead and roll to pick it.
Can I get guidance on that?
Yep.
I'll walk over there and guidance is this. Literally, I touch his butt.
Little
Yeah.
fucking attaboy.
30-20.
Hell yeah.
You pick the lock, no problem. The chest opens. There's what looks to be female clothing of some sort. The only thing of note that you might want is a black leather eye patch that has a carnelian sewn into it. For anybody who doesn't know, that is a gem. It is like an orange gem. Size of it, just roughly, it looks to be about worth 50 gold.
I'll grab it.
Okay.
I'll come back out into the hall here and say, I found valuables in the chest in there. We may want to look at the rest of them. I don't know about you all, but I no longer have qualms about taking things from this home, as the owner, who is clearly dead, was also, as you all would say, a piece of shit. So I really don't care as much any longer, if you all agree.
You do you.
Yeah. Check the cases.
I don't lockpick this one right here. I just kick the lock off.
You what?
I kick the
He
lock
wants
off.
to kick the fucking
Oh,
box.
okay. Then roll to hit.
Yeah.
Strength. DJ, would you roll?
Natural 20.
Cool. All right, so again, you're able to pick it, no problem.
22.
Making up, baby. We're making up. We need 6 more. Let's go.
This chest holds a coin purse or pouch.
Mm-hmm.
As you look at it, you recognize this is human skin. Not just any human skin. It seems to be a scrotum.
I fucking do it. I was gonna joke. It's a ball sack.
I was gonna make the same fucking joke. We've been hanging out too goddamn long.
So D&D obviously is way too PC to fucking make it a ball sack, but it is human. But to me, it would be a ball sack.
Makes
in
sense.
in it
Human skin
is
patch.
Actually, the ball sack.
in it is 11 gold and 60 silver.
Okay, I'll take that too.
All right.
Right, can you,
Smells
not
sweaty.
the ball sack, right? You're just gonna dump the coins and shit into a bag.
Oh no, Jinx puts the whole thing in his bag.
Very
Yes.
good.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
All right. I had to
alright.
clarify because I know that's
Raven.
gonna come up later. He's gonna pull out the. I got
22.
money, and it's a ball sack.
Okay, it hits. Roll to hit.
That would be what, unarmed?
Yeah, unarmed strike.
That'd be 17.
Okay. You all hear this loud, just thud, and a metallic, like clink. The lock falls off, but not only does the lock fall off, you broke the entire lock, like latch mechanism off. I mean, these chests are old; they're dry rotted. Those nails just right out.
Fucking
And yeah, in that one, there's a very pristine short sword.
You would find the weapon.
Of course I do.
Every fucking time. Every fucking time.
I grab it. And
As you sit there and look at it,
I hope it's fucking cursed.
you realize it's got a silvered effect to it.
Another silvered weapon.
yep.
I hope it's cursed.
How much gold and silver was in the scrotum? That's a sentence I've never said before.
Silver, 11 gold.
Yep.
How much silver? I'm sorry.
60.
Thank you.
And then 11 gold. And yes, there is a silver short sword in the one that Gravin just busted open.
And I'm gonna struggle to open mine over here, by the way.
Once we finish with
Don't worry,
the
I'll help
house,
with you.
Once we finish with the house, can we go over like the gems and shit that we found? 'Cause
Yeah,
I don't think anybody's
yeah,
written
we
any of
will.
that down yet.
Nope, you're fine. You guys are pretty much finding everything that's in here anyway, so.
Okay.
Okay. Are we opening any more?
Yeah, mine.
Where are you?
There's
I'm at
two
the
more,
bottom.
right?
Oh, okay.
We have this one here to do still.
Yep. Okay. Yep.
13.
To pick the lock?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. That one's good. There is a ivory hairbrush with silver
It's
silver
Hello,
bristles.
princess.
Hello, princess.
I hate it here now. Give that. I hate it.
Imagine a
silver.
fucking silver wolf. Woof.
Woof.
Right.
A silver wolf.
A silver, immaculate wolf.
That's what I said.
And the last one, because I know you guys are going to be able to pick it. The last one contains 3 moss agates. So they're worth 10 gold apiece. They're folded up in a black cloth.
Okay. I don't know what that is, but we'll deal with that in a minute.
Honestly, I wouldn't have been shocked if there was a fucking purse made out of a tit in one of these after the fucking scroll.
Yeah, I'd be into that.
All right, Dahmer, settle down.
So I had an ivory brush with silver bristles.
Yep.
Ed Gain was the one that played with human skin.
Yeah.
Jeffrey
Oh, yeah,
Dahmer
yeah,
just ate
yeah.
people.
Yeah. He just raped and ate.
Mostly men. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just for the
Ed Gein covered
record,
his furniture and human skin.
that
Yeah.
silver short
Good
sword
chance he had
I
an
did
actual
just
ball
put on my belt.
What'd you say, Jordan?
The silver short sword, I did just put it on my belt. The silver long sword still group inventory, but I'm just saying I acquired that one.
Okay. Where are we going now, boys?
I guess up the steps.
Yeah, back out like over here.
All right, so, yep, they'll say there are 2 different ways you all go. Okay.
This one takes us back to where we were.
All right, so with that, you guys are in hold on, down here. You guys are in what appears to be a dining hall.
There's a path over here, boys.
There's up here where I'm at. There's rooms on the left and the right over here.
Correct. So with those, they are crypts. All right, so several crypts have been hewn from the earth. Each crypt is sealed with a stone slab, unless I'd say otherwise. But it does look like they might be able to be removed the lids.
Any names?
Yes.
Any names on any of them?
Yes. So, and I'll make this. Hold on. I gotta zoom in a little bit. Hold on. All right. So, hold on. So you have. I'm just gonna do this real quick, right? You all see where I'm pinging?
Yeah.
So we have this outlet. We have the one that you guys are standing in, and then we have the one up here, right? These are all the crypts. Okay. So starting with the top ones, this crypt is empty, completely. This one says there's a stone slab meant to seal this crypt that leans against a nearby wall. Etched into it is the name Walter Durst, but the crypt itself is empty.
You're writing on the northernmost.
There was
slab?
nothing in. Nope, nothing in that one. That's completely empty.
All right, so neither of those seem to be of any interest, at
Nope.
least not yet.
We'll do the left ones first down here. So with those, the one up top says a stone slab is etched with the name Rosavalda Durst. The crypt beyond contains an empty coffin on a stone briar.
In the southern one?
And the southern one is Thorn's crypt.
Okay. I will pull Thorn's bones out, hand them to Gravin, and I will open up the door next to me and put Rose in her casket.
I will migrate down and put Thorn in his.
Okay. Sweet. You all put the bones in. Nothing seems to currently happen, but you all have put their bones to where you would assume they would lay to rest for the time being.
Are these like caskets or just like the pedestal they put them on?
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, so the lids are there. Their lids aren't made yet though, because they're not dead, right? So it's just the open part of the stone casket. But you can totally lay the bones in there like you all already did. There's no problem with that. Across to
Check
the
the
right.
too.
Yep. So the top one is Gustav's. The chamber beyond contains an empty coffin atop a stone briar. The bottom one is Elizabeth's, also containing an empty coffin.
Elizabeth, was that the mom or the maid?
The mom.
Mom, I don't know the maid's name.
Okay.
There's a pathway back here.
Yeah. Let's go south.
Come.
Hold up. Back up into the dining room. Right here. Thank you. I just don't want you guys to get too far ahead of me.
Yep. Nothing in the dining room, I'm assuming. We didn't get any explanation when we came in here. I just want to make sure.
It was just an empty table. Okay. All right. As you all proceed. Okay. All right, you guys are good. As we get into this hallway, you guys turn this corner, and right here at the four-way, you all see a dead body here, and a dead body right here. They are halfway, like, covered in the dirt. The one in front of you guys going south, the feet are kind of like at a 45 out of the dirt. And the one over here, you can see an arm sticking up out of the ground. The one to the right.
Looks like traps.
Maybe. I'm going to start moving a little slower, keeping an eye out for any kind of traps or anything as I'm walking forward.
Which way are we going?
I think going your direction, Jynx, would make the most sense.
Okay. More steps
go.
leading down. Let's finish this floor.
Okay.
Somebody else lead.
I'll go down, stepping over the feet, making sure I don't.
Nothing happens. You guys are good. All right, as we get into the next large room, So, within this, it seems to be some sort of quarters with a dining area, right? So, chandelier is suspended in the main room you guys are in. Chandelier is suspended above the table in the middle of the room. 2 high-backed chairs flank the tables, which has an empty clay jug and 2 clay flagons. Flagons, I don't like that word, atop it. Iron candlesticks stand in 2 corners, their candles long since melted away. In the bedroom, contains a large wood-framed bed and with a rotted feather mattress. Wardrobe contains, if y'all opened it, several old robes, a pair of iron candlesticks, and an open crate that contains 30 torches and a leather sack with candles inside of it. There's also at the foot of the bed, there is a wooden footlocker that seems to be unlocked.
Take my hand axe and try to pry it open again, making sure. Kind of step back, so if anything does explode, it don't take my knees out.
Okay. You're able to open it, no problem.
Anything good?
So there is a very ornate cloak in this chest. There is a small wooden coffer that is unlocked that contains 4 health potions, a chain shirt, a mess kit, a flask of alchemist fire, a bullseye lantern, a set of thieves' tools, and a leather-bound book that has yellow leather. It's a yellow leather-bound book.
I'm like, hey, hold on to this for us, Jynx. It will come in handy.
Hold on to what?
I'll throw you that thing.
What thing?
The thing containing all that cool shit. Yeah.
It's a chest. It's a giant chest.
Yeah, you got
Containing all that
Throw a
cool shit.
chest down the hallway?
Why are you throwing a giant chest at me? How fucking high are you right now?
I'm not. But Artie, did you not say the chest contained the thing that had all this other shit in it?
No.
Yeah, there's a coffer.
That. The coffer.
I mean, a coffer is just a smaller chest.
I know.
Like that's okay.
You're still throwing chests at me.
Okay.
I'm not
Alright,
throwing
I'll
it.
take all the shit. Fine, I'll take all of it. It's fine.
You have the bag of holding, okay? We've gone through this.
Communicate better.
I'm like, meanwhile, I'm like,
Whilst this argument is going on, Torm pulls out
Right.
one of these chairs and sits down there for a minute.
As you all hold on, stay where you are.
I haven't touched anything. I
So-
realized that, and I was like, we'll wait.
Everyone add. Oh my god. Everyone add 1 health potion to your inventory as Jynx distributes the 4 that are in there to everyone.
As this is happening, Jynx, give me a perception at disadvantage.
Okay. Give me 1 second, please. Okay, I don't know where the fuck that just went. Perception at disadvantage?
Yes.
Ten.
In this room where you guys are at, can everybody put themselves right where they would be?
Yep.
Does this matter?
Assuming I had a chest thrown at me that I absolutely dodged, for the record.
I did not throw it at you,
Probably-
I handed it to you.
You said I throw it.
Literally, you said throw.
I sidestepped that shit and let it hit the table, but I am standing where I should be.
Yeah, well, I would be around. I think we would all
Okay,
be near the
alright.
table when he hands
Okay.
everything out.
Well, like I said, I'm sat down at the table just because the arguing. And just-
Gravin, give me a perception.
Perception. Da-da-da-da.
As Jynx is handing
18.
these potions out and going on about throwing chests,
One must
Revan,
not
from behind
torture
you,
sad
you
people.
hear what sounds to be the crumbling of dirt. As you turn around, give me a second.
This
As you-
music's yeah really intense for this.
Yeah, it did.
As you turn around, you notice two walls in the in the bedroom crumble, and out of them comes two very familiar corpses that you all have seen in many portraits. You immediately recognize them as the mother and father of this house. I need everybody to roll initiative for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go. Fucking 18, baby.
Hold on.
And you said I'm the only one that noticed that at first, right?
Yeah.
So, as I see that, I'm like, we got problems, guys. Look. And I point in the general direction of them. And that's when initiative came.
Where are they coming from? East or west?
The bedroom.
The east.
To the left.
east.
Yeah. It's just where I'm
Okay.
sat. I can't see down the hall, so I don't know exactly where they're coming from.
All right.
18.
Okay. Let's go X.
Dirty 20.
Okay. Jordan.
Dirty 20.
I'm actually going to be last on the fucking thing with
Damn,
plus 6
boys.
initiative. With plus
Word.
6 initiative.
And with that,
Wait,
got everybody locked in?
What's
got
yours?
16.
Oh, 16, not 6.
No, I was saying, yeah, I'm going to be last
Just
with a
give
plus
him a
6
number.
initiative.
Oh, I got you.
Just give
Okay.
it-
Top of the round. Grabbing you up.
From on my foundry, I can't see them.
There they are.
So, you said they're coming out the door? Or...
You were
Coming out the
originally
room you were
standing
just
here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you would have been standing like
Okay.
right here.
Alright, well, I'm definitely going to use my movement. Give me just a second so I can zoom in on this a little bit. And, okay, I see at least one of them there. I will actually... Do I notice that they're spectral or are they skeleton, you said?
They're not spectral per se.
It's physical, I can hit.
Yeah, they're not
Okay.
ghosts. They are legit creatures.
Alright, so I will take that silver short sword that I had and swing at him. The first
You took
one. Yep, I'm working on it.
Moved to-
I'm
Oh,
working
okay.
on it.
My bad, my bad. I get excited.
I'm actually going to move right here, but I'm still in melee range, so he can't opportunity attack me, and so we're going silver. So that will be that's 17 plus 6. I hope that hits.
It hits. Which
Okay.
one are you
Real
going for?
worried.
I am going for this one.
Okay.
And that would be 1d6 plus 4.
I just realized there's still Bob Smith in here.
I saw that earlier.
8 piercing with the silver sword.
Okay.
And as my bonus action, let's see here, what can I do? My bonus action. As my bonus action, I am going to call it forth my echo. As long as we've been working with each other, y'all have never actually truly seen this. You might have seen it in glimpses on the outskirts of the campfires and along the travels, but you've never truly identified it, what it was or what it could be. So I kind of need a token for him, sir.
I'll bring a token later. Just keep track of where, like,
Okay.
wherever this thing is.
I'm gonna put him right on the bed.
Okay.
Alright, question above table. If I'm reading this right, I can choose to attack with the echo or myself, not both. Is that correct? Okay, so at that point, I just call him forth. And he takes stance.
Okay. Is that the end of your turn?
Yes, sir.
Okay. X.
I don't. How high is his room?
8 feet.
8-foot ceilings.
So they're essentially. Because how tall is Jynx? Is
7.5 feet. I'm going to be providing at least half cover to anything anyone shoots into the room.
That's why I'm asking. And then, Graven is also, I'm assuming, in front of Jynx.
I am around the
He's around the
corner. I did that on
Around the
purpose.
corner.
Yeah. I'm in the room in there. So you have a
Oh,
straight
with
shot at
them.
the one. Yeah.
So you can
Okay.
squeeze past me and get in there and have a clean shot, and then move back out if you want to. Just
Yeah,
to
'cause
stay
I'm
out of the
just
way.
trying to. Yeah. So I would. What's this? I would put myself 30 feet. This is gonna be so weird. I would want to be either here or like asking Jynx to. You know what? I would ask Jynx to duck as I would try to cast Guiding Bolt to hit this thing from a distance because I can't. I'm not going to go down the hallway.
Sacrifice half my movement on my turn if you'll allow that, Artie.
Yeah, for this I will just because I know these corridors are fucking tight. Like I
There's
I
not
know
a lot.
it's
I'm not
yeah.
going to pile in there because then nobody can do anything else either.
Yeah,
So I was
yep.
like,
Yeah. That Jinx
like
would
that.
duck immediately. He would go straight down as low as he could get.
I'll cast it at first level.
At what level?
First level. Natural 19 with a +7 to hit. So
It hits.
26.
Yeah.
4d6 damage. And 16 points of radiant damage.
You said of a radiant?
Correct.
Okay. How do you want to do it?
I would just be like, Jynx, duck, and then act like I'm throwing a fucking baseball. And I'm just chucking the guiding bolt right down the hallway.
That's kind of badass.
What else I got? You know what I mean? I can,
Winding up, straight up
right,
Ryan, leg kicking
it's
everything.
like fuck that motherfucker.
Feels
All right.
great.
So he is down. You all watch as this guiding bolt just comes in, and as that just radiant energy smacks this corpse right in the chest, it's almost as if like a holy white, just white phosphorus just sears right through Gustav's chest, and he falls and collapses to the ground, still searing a little bit. Anything else, X?
No, that would be it.
Okay. Jynx, you're up.
We're really doing this? Unless you want us all.
I'm going to move into the room. I don't think you have that ghast's, or they both go on the same initiative turn. This
Yeah.
one's not in.
Yeah, you only have one cast.
I know, yeah.
Oh,
I know.
okay, just making sure. My bad.
Yeah.
Are you doing what you did for TOA, where all of the baddies go at once, kind of deal? Or
Most of the time, yes. If I need to do separate, then I will separate, because obviously I don't want to fucking mollywop you all in one go. It'll just depend on the encounter.
Question. This is a DM to DM question. If you had a player that had a dart as a ranged weapon, what is that dart? How does that function as a weapon in your head? If Jynx throws a dart, is he throwing it like at a dartboard? Is it a large thing that he just kind of whips at somebody?
That's how I would. Yeah, I would say yeah.
Would you allow a player who can cast catapult to use catapult to launch that weapon and get extra damage out of it?
Yeah, under the rule of cool. Yeah.
Okay. Jynx is going to walk into the room, pull his dart out, and use catapult to launch it at this thing's fucking head.
Okay.
hell yeah.
Which is a dex save on your part,
My part. Okay.
because it is a magically guided object.
I got you.
Excuse me.
So that is a 21.
That's a pass, so it's half damage, which is still 3d8, 1d4. Oh, come back here. 11, 12, 13.
We made the same face, sorry. I was like,
That's about right.
19 total damage. I can split it up in between bludgeoning and piercing if you need me to.
No, that's fine. Okay. This thing is not looking happy at all. She's not looking good.
I think I have a bonus action. I think. Can I have a second, please?
so it's just these two that we've seen so far, yeah?
Yeah. Yep.
As a bonus action, I'm going to use defensive defensive field, which just gives me a couple temporary hit points.
Okay.
That's my turn.
Okay. Are you okay? Okay. So
I'm going to move in a little bit closer, actually, just to make some room for anybody else that wants to come in.
Okay.
That's my turn.
All right. Sweet. It is now my turn. Let's see. Okay. Making sure I got everything. All right.
Have to fart.
It is going to, seeing what just happened, it's going to come over, DJ with you, locked in that little area, and it is going to attempt to, it's going to lunge at you, and her mouth is wide open, long tongue comes rolling out, and those teeth come right in for the side of your shoulder. She's going to try to bite you.
Okay.
That's going to be...
So is the girls that try to bite you, bro.
I know.
Those are some freaky ones.
I know.
They can talk to you, they can be nice to you, but then all of a sudden they're just like, why are you biting me? Damn it.
That's probably totally not gonna... 13 hit?
Not even close.
That's what I figured.
As she lunges in, Jynx reaches up and takes one thumb and goes right in her mouth, but like in her cheek. And she's like, no.
I
Ah! No.
It's more like a please do not.
Coming from him, you're right. Please do not.
That looks
Like,
unsanitary.
As Jinx is like, please do not. She takes her claw and goes to gash at his torso.
I can't wait for it to miss this with your hand. No, thank you.
I'm just like steps back.
17 to hit.
Also a miss.
Ooh,
Jinx reaches down and snatches her wrist and says, Elizabeth, is this what got you in trouble in the first place? Not listening to no's?
No means no.
we like consent here.
Thumb in the mouth, hand on the wrist.
That is her turn. So, Connor, you are up, good sir.
Could we argue that I have her grappled at this point?
In a weird way.
Just to make it a fun
It's
fucking
just kind
combat? You're fucking with your dog and you grab his fucking lip.
Quit it.
I'm just gonna fling a firebolt at.
Okay.
21.
Hits.
I'll say you probably have advantage if they're grappled, technically,
Yeah.
right?
You don't even need it.
Right.
Dude, it's AC's 13. It's a fucking, like, it's a corpse.
And that is for 4 fire damage.
Okay.
Let's check out any
Anything
bonus
else?
actions. Now. I am gonna move back to where I was before, though.
Okay. Back to the top of the order.
All right.
Raven's up.
I'm just standing there, and you just see my echo.
Oh, hold on. I need you to roll me a con saving throw.
Me?
Yeah.
Heard. That is 16.
You save. You notice as you're standing next to this thing, just the smell is wretched, and as it kind of goes into your nostrils, you feel ill for a quick second. But for right now, you seem to be okay.
Kill that thing now, bro.
As that smell hits me, I will walk up. I will not leave its
It's technically
reach.
grappled. It's technically grappled. It can't do an opportunity
It
attack.
can't do shit. As I'll just walk out and say,
Technically.
and I say, "Fuck that bitch." And then you see,
as you walk out, Jynx kind of yells over his shoulder, "If you're vacating the room, I can finish this. I need a moment."
I hear that and I'm like,
Do what you want to do. I'm not trying to take over your
"No, I got you. I got you. Don't worry about it. I got this one." And you just see my echo swing with the longsword. That is, because again, it is a mirror image of me, so all its weapons and everything on me, it can utilize. That is 11 plus 6, 17.
Hits.
All right, 1d8. 8. Which one's 8? That's an 8. That is 4 plus 3, 7 of piercing. Nope, slashing.
Okay. Describe it.
So as I'm walking out, I'm just like, Jynx yells at me like, "I got it," and I just keep walking towards. I actually go sit down on the fucking table, and then Jynx is probably the only one that can actually truly see what happens, and you just see my echo just come up and just fucking slice us. Yeah, and so Jynx, where it had the resistance, kind of like, "Ooh." And then as my bonus action, the echo just fades away.
Okay. And with that, we are out of combat for now, sirs. First little combat. The air goes still, quiet. You can still hear off in the distance that familiar chanting, rumbling that I described earlier. Floor is yours, boys.
Let's go ahead and go through the door.
Yeah, my door here where I'm at, I'd open it.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, does the body just disappear? Or is it just kind of laying there still?
No, they're laying there.
We might want to put that back in the crypt later. Just FYI.
All right, hold on, X. With that,
I haven't opened the door yet.
I know.
so-
I'm pulling my notes up.
He didn't say okay.
Right.
Okay.
Or go in. He didn't say go in. I wait. He says
Kogan.
okay all the time. See? Again,
All right, what are we doing?
I'm gonna open this door.
Open
Are
the
we good
damn
to open the
door.
door?
As
Can't.
you all watch, as X
Good.
reaches for the handle, he goes to turn it, and one of the iron bars that go across this wooden door, you know what I'm talking about, like those two horizontal bars, the one that lines right up next to the handle, you all watch as a tongue comes out of the metal and starts to try to wrap against X's arm. X, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw. And as this happened, the door becomes alive. Teeth come out of the door. The door is nothing but a giant mouth and is trying to grapple X.
It's a mimic.
Yes.
The door's the fucking mimic.
Motherfucker.
19.
Oh, no.
Good sir, for right now, you are grappled.
Great.
Damn.
And that is where we will
One.
start next session, going back into initiative with
Um,
X being
actually, with being grappled, with that reaction, I have a bonus action. I can face step out of it.
grappled. Okay.
I have face step.
Okay.
So with being grappled, I would face step instantly to get away from the door.
I think that is an after initiative turn-based thing.
Yeah,
As a
yeah, we can
DM,
do
yeah,
that
yeah,
later.
yeah, that
but
was
I
it.
want to have that. Make sure we keep
Okay,
that as a note.
that's
this
fine.
time.
Yeah,
I
just
I
keep that in
remember
mind.
I have that. Yeah. No,
But
no.
yes, the door is a mimic. X just got grappled into this thing. You all have never seen one of these in person. It's quite terrifying. And that is where we will end tonight's session, boys, since I have to get out of here.